There's always more going on there than meets the eye.
Everybody has their own interpretations of all the relationships that are allowed to occur within this game.
All the mini games are fun. Cuff occur. Cuff occur, a bad person. And because of my character Barrett, she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna cuff this guy.
Perhaps you're saying to yourself, there's gotta be more to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth than just the stunning character designs, visceral combat, and literally one of the most iconic stories in the history of video games. And to that I say, what about gambling? On this episode of Next on GamesRadar, we're going to the Gold Saucer. Welcome to one of the most exciting locations in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You'll meet friends, play games, and maybe even go on a date if you play your cards right. The Gold Saucer is a gold-plated tower of pure opulence in the middle of the desert. Sound familiar? With 7 squares to explore and mini-games galore to experience, there will be plenty to keep you occupied in this sanctuary of amusement. Let's climb aboard the ropeway and start exploring. You want to battle in an arena? What about target practice on a roller coaster? G-bike racing? Whatever you're into, at the Gold Saucer, you'll find it.
The Gold Saucer is where residents in Final Fantasy VII can go to blow off some steam, you know, have a real good time. But there's always more going on there than meets the eye.
The Gold Saucer is a break from the running chaos of the story and the pushing thread of the narrative. It allows you a moment to breathe and kind of play and really dig a little more into the character bonding moments. When you arrive, it's a whole different world. There's lights, and music, and games, and it also shifts your perspective of how dynamic this world can be.
The thing that I really appreciate about the Gold Saucer is that it's a bit of light in an otherwise quite dark story, right? It's this super cool, super bright, loud, energetic amusement park. The, Las Vegas of this world, right? Where you can go and have some fun.
There's this whole theme park and there's like a roller coaster and the big Ferris wheel thing. I love that specific energy of like, I can just indulge in this whole thing, but I can't wait for that feeling. I just want to arrive and go through that big mog mouth and then wander in and just see what the hell it feels like to be in the Golden Sorcery. I'll be in there for the rest of the year.
To me, all the mini games are fun, but some of them are super hard. There's this one, it's when you have to time your punch to a bad guy. Cuff occur. Cuff occur, a bad person. Oh, I gotta time this punch out to hit this dude right here who's looking evil at me. And because of my character Barrett, she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna cuff this guy.
What sort of mini games did you have fun doing?
Queen's Blood.
Queen's Blood.
Yeah, dude. Just like the animations and the cutscenes of going into it, it is so dramatic and heightened in the most like ridiculous, fun ways.
I am eagerly awaiting spending way too much time in this game playing the card game.
Queen's Blood's great. I'm a big fan of card games in my RPGs in general. It was also very easy to pick up, but I think it'll be one of those easy to learn, hard to master. And so I'm excited to get more cards and add to my deck and really get sidetracked from what I'm supposed to be doing.
The Gold Saucer is segmented into unique squares, each with its distinct theme and attractions. There's the Battle Square, the Speed Square, the Ghost Square, the Chocobo Square, and more. Here, every turn is an invitation to a different minigame, deviating from the traditional gameplay. Not just a hub of entertainment, a bastion of culture.
What's your favorite Golden Saucer square and why?
It's got to be the Battle Square, I think. Yeah. There are lots of great places in that location that I'm looking forward to seeing them. The Battle Square is where you spend a lot of time in the original game, so I've got a lot of nostalgia.
I would go straight to the Chocobo Square, go and see some Chocobo racing.
What about the Loveless, the musical theater aspect of it?
That was a trip. That was actually a trip. I was doing Romeo Juliet performances like. Yeah, that was good. There's one like little monologue rant that he goes off to, and it's like the pinnacle of it, right? It's the crescendo, if you will. Like he just really goes into it. That's the thing about this game. There's so much.
Amid the high energy and loud moments are quieter, more personal ones that stand out. One highlight is spending more quality time with your favorite party member, especially during the iconic gondola ride.
Who are you going to take on your date on the Golden Saucer?
Oh, well, I haven't decided yet. You've got to do a little bit of courting first, don't you? If I get to take Barrett, maybe I'll take Barrett. I think he'd be a good date. I think he'd have a lot to chat about, and he'd win me a lot of prizes.
I want to take Red 13. I want to show him everything. I want to go on the roller coaster with his little paws.
Imagine him sitting on the
on the bar.
Yeah.
He's got that chocobo rope to ride it.
Cloud and Tifa are the power couple of the game for me. So it's Tifa, but
Barrett
yeah,
needs
I got
loves
Barrett
too.
the first time. It's great fun.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna, maybe I'll even aim to do it again on Rebirth. Just as, you got to see it. I want my bro moment. So
It's side by side time with a kid who I was like, in the very beginning, I'm like, you better be worth every penny, Merc. To, I really like this kid. And so now we're in a situation where it's like, hey, we got some downtime? Let me check in with you.
That sequence, and I know it's gonna be very special to a lot of people, right? Because everybody has their own interpretations of all the relationships that are allowed to occur within this game. But it was cool for me because I got to play the same scenario many different ways, because his interactions and how he interacts and the patience and the tenderness and the responses that he has, the wit, the charm, or the whatever it may be, is very, very different depending on the relationship. That's one of my favorite things about Cloud, is that he's just not the same person with everybody. There's very special connections between him and Aerith, between him and Tifa, now between him and Barrett, even now between him and Red, as they start to do a lot more missions together, if you will. So it was fun, man. It was really, really fun. I got to really flesh out all these fun, quirky sides of Cloud and all these different scenarios.
Thanks for joining us in our in-depth look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, now out exclusively on the PlayStation 5. We'll see you soon on Next on GamesRadar.